Well, good morning, everyone. Hope everyone is well. Had a decent weekend. Yeah, I'm gonna title this video "Shot in the Dark," which is appropriate since it's almost 7 a.m. and I'm driving in the dark to work. Ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. I was starting to really enjoy, driving to work in the light for a change. That was nice. It is almost 7 a.m. and it's still pitch black out. What a bunch of idiots. Always messing with this time. But anyway, don't get me started. I just can't stand it. And I wonder if winter's ever going to end. The cold temperatures. I mean, it's just like, I don't know. Man, what a weird time to be alive. What a strange time. Anyway, yeah, I'm calling this a shot in the dark because that's exactly what I'm going to take here. A shot in the dark. People want to listen. I think you might find this mildly interesting, maybe a little amusing. Something to definitely laugh at if I'm completely off base here, because I know my critics love doing that. So, little something for everybody here, right? So, anyway, yeah, I rewatched the movie Lincoln. I don't know if people remember that film. It was pretty popular at the time. It came out, like 13 years ago? I think it was first released 2012. And Daniel Day-Lewis is doing a spectacular job portraying Lincoln. And it kind of had like a little mini all-star cast. Sally Field played his wife, and Tommy Lee Jones was in it. James Spader, and I don't know, some bigger names, at least at the time. So anyway, yeah, I rewatched it because I first started thinking about it, I don't know, a few videos back, I guess about a week ago or whatever, when the Prez addressed Congress, and then there was that debacle in the beginning with decorum, the failed decorum, where they wound up censuring, I should say, Representative Al Green of Texas, and then, and then there was like it was just a big show, just a big circus, with people sitting there with their signs saying Musk steals on one side, and they flip it to the other side, little fan signs, that said, false or whatever. And it was just ridiculous and childish and moronic and everything. But it reminded me, I was like, wow, because I'd only seen the movie once that I recall, but certain things just kind of stick in your mind. And I remember when I first saw the movie, I was like, wow, was it really like this? And I don't know if it was or not, but was it really like this? Because what we saw about a week ago, I guess it'd be a week ago tonight, where, Congress was addressed, was, according to the film Lincoln, was very, very mild in comparison when it came to the contention, in Congress, and, the arguments and the disdain, and, just, you talk about no decorum, just insulting people, and just, I mean, even though somebody supposedly had the floor, they really didn't have the floor, and everybody interrupting and everyone, and it was just crazy. Just no control whatsoever. And I was like, was it really like that? And I think it probably was, where, Congress at that time, during the time of Lincoln, was very contentious, and they just seemed to really hate each other, I mean, so I know it's all a show now, but I don't know if it was then or not. Maybe not. I don't know. But I just remember seeing how it was depicted in the film, so I rewatched it. And as I was watching it, I didn't really realize this at the time, but something came to me. And this is why I'm calling this a shot in the dark, because that's what I'm doing here. I'm taking a shot in the dark. Like I said, which is appropriate because I'm driving in the dark. You're seeing a dark screen, so just call it a shot in the dark. And I also remembered, police training where we would do a night shoot where nobody looked forward to the night shoot, really. Well, I wouldn't say nobody, but a lot of people didn't look forward. If they weren't familiar with shooting at night, it's a little frightening. if they hadn't done it before, like me at the time, and others. It's a little because you just don't have the vision during the night that you do during the day. And when you would do the night shoot at the academy or whatever, there were certain rules that you followed, certain things they told you to do, and you get to use a flashlight, and at times, and other times, they would have you shine the flashlight, then turn it off, and then have to shoot, where you tried to affix your eyes to the target, which is very difficult to do at night. It has to do with like rods and cones in your eyes and everything. They explained it all to us. Not really important for this, but for anybody that does a night shoot or ever has to shoot at night, it's things you need to know about, because you may not have a flashlight readily available, or a laser scope or something, you may not, you may be in a situation, I hope not, but where you would have to shoot an intruder or something at night where there are no lights on or whatever, and you're responsible for every bullet that comes out of that gun. You're responsible for your backstop. You're responsible for everything, right? So they would really, kind of beat it into us, into our heads, like how important it is, because, a lot of times you're on patrol or whatever, you're at night, you may have to pull your weapon, and shoot at night. So you got to be very, very careful. And like I said, your light is very, very limited. So you're literally like taking a shot in the dark. I mean, even if you do have some limited lighting, it's still very hard to affix your eyes on the target and make an accurate shot. So we would train to do that. So anyway, taking a shot in the dark here because of something I was reminded of with watching the movie. Abraham Lincoln was in his second term, and the movie basically follows like the last 4 months of his presidency, where they're trying to pass the 13th Amendment to abolish slavery, and he's just elected to his second term. Now, this is what got my attention. We have heard for years now, off and on, depending upon how familiar people are with certain prophecies or dreams, visions, what have you, that people have had, I don't know, throughout the United States, even throughout the world. We have heard for a very, very long time now about certain prophetic things regarding this country, where there have been comparisons made to certain presidents, to past presidents, or even aircraft carriers, referring to the fiery kickoff event, if that is still on the table, still on the books, whatever, if that's, going to happen. I have no idea. Not my prophecy. Don't know. Never received a word about it. I just find it very fascinating, very interesting, and I know the man who got it, so I just find it interesting, so but regarding the Lincoln and the Reagan, where the Lincoln aircraft carrier Lincoln is completely sunk, the Reagan is attacked but not killed or not sunk, and referring to the presidents, where Lincoln was obviously assassinated and Reagan was shot but not killed at the time. So he died much later on in years, as people know. But anyway, I started thinking, well, and then so many people, false prophets for sure, compare, the current pres to David, to King David in the Bible, which is a joke. much, much more like Saul, Matter of fact, my wife and I and my kids, to a certain extent, started watching this program called House of David, which is not completely biblically accurate, but it is very interesting. And a lot of it is biblically accurate as well, though. But they kind of fill in the gaps, in certain areas. But pretty interesting show. But anyway, as I'm watching this, I'm thinking, yeah, man, we got Saul right now. This is Saul. This is Saul. Not David. Saul. Okay? Whether people want to agree, disagree, or not, right? So I started thinking about all these things. And as I'm watching the film, I noticed that it's the last 4 months of his life. Because once they get that 13th Amendment abolished, which it's not really They don't really talk about it that much, but the implication is that might have been why he was assassinated. I don't know, but it was interesting to me because from the time of his inauguration to the time of his death was approximately 4 months. Okay? And it was in April 14th of 1865 is when he was actually shot, and I guess they pronounced him dead at 7:22 in the morning on April 15th or what have you, right? I started thinking to myself, okay, with everything that's going on in the world now, everything that's going on in this country, and all the chaos and confusion that people want to pretend doesn't exist. They just want to live in a constant state of denial and, click their heels like there's no place like home and pretend like this isn't happening and Trump's going to fix it all and Musk is going to fix it all and whatever, Doge this and USA that, and they're discovering this and they're going to save billions on that, and the fraud, the waste, the abuse, and on and on and on, that people just eat it all up with a spoon. The reality of the fact is the markets were bleeding yesterday. But today everything looks fine again, right? That's the game, right? They're going to just, they don't want people to panic. They don't want people to freak out. They still want people to have faith in the system, trust in the system, trust in their government, trust in people even, trust in the news media, trust in everything but the Lord Jesus Christ and everything but God the Father, right? Trust in all of these tangible things, right? So they're going to, plunge protection team comes to the rescue, and they're going to save it. But once again, at least that's the way it appears right now this morning. We'll see. Time will tell. Maybe it is finally time. I don't know. But all I know is it bled big time yesterday. It was a panic yesterday. It bled. And now, Canada under their new, Prime Minister Carney there, he's threatening, to retaliate with tariffs and cut off the power, and, and people are concerned about possibly losing power, or at least they should be. In certain states, they should be. I don't know if they are, but they should be, and should be preparing for that, but whatever, but now there's more and more reports about Social Security, yet once again, Dr. Ed Weir and some other dude, I don't know his name, Josh Anderson, something like that. Somebody sent me a video on that. Haven't watched it. But it said on the title, that Social Security could be in trouble in 3 weeks. I'm not saying this. Other people are. 3 weeks. I'm like, well, that's interesting because that leads us right into April. If that's true, if that does come to pass. So people depended upon all these different entitlements and, government and whatever else, they might find themselves on the outside looking in because, newsflash, all men lie. Everybody lies. Numbers 23:19, Romans 3:4. Let every man be a liar, but God be true, right? All men lie. Just like in Braveheart, I don't know, this is necessarily true, but I remember the scene from Braveheart, where the father of Robert the Bruce tells him that all men lose heart. And Robert the Bruce like, I don't want to lose heart. Because all men lose heart. I was like, but I don't want to lose heart. I hear you, Robert. Doesn't necessarily mean all men do, but a lot of people do. They lose heart. People lie. Governments lie. News media lies. Presidents lie. Politicians lie. Everybody's a liar, right? So, getting back to what does this have to do with Lincoln? Well, he had those 4 months between, signing the 13th Amendment into law to abolish slavery, and then by the middle of April, the man was dead. Okay, and he was in his second term. What do we have right now? Could we possibly, I don't want to say no, but is there a pattern here? Let's just put it that way. The current president is in his second term. Okay? We are coming up on April now. If there is a pattern here, if there is something to follow, and history often repeats itself, more often than not, and we never learn from it. That's why it does repeat itself, I think. And because of that, and there's nothing new under the sun, what once was will be again. Could we possibly see, if it were to occur, the fiery kickoff event or some other type of thing happen in April, referring to what happened to, correlating to, I should say, what happened to Lincoln in April of 1865? Could that be a possibility? That's why I'm taking a shot. That's why I'm calling this a shot in the dark. Because that's what people would say. Well, that's a shot in the dark. You know, you really can't see your target. You really don't know exactly what you're shooting at. You're just hoping to hit it. Fair enough. But if history does repeat itself, and if there are patterns and correlations, could it be possible? And the reason I say that too is because historically speaking, we're still in March. I get that. March 11th could be a very, very important day. People would look that up for themselves and the meaning behind all that, whatever, if you want to. But from like now to like pretty much the end of March, I would definitely be on high alert, okay? I mean, I really would be. I mean, I was like, but you say that all the time, man. Fair enough. You know, that's how I live my life. But, I mean, but from now, okay, from March 11th on, I would definitely be on high alert, okay? That's just me personally, all right? On a lot of different things. I would definitely be paying attention. I'd definitely be watching. I mean, don't get inundated with all the stuff, you know, all the news and all the garbage and all the lies and all this and all that. But at least be paying attention. At least don't have your head in the sand. At least don't be oblivious. Be paying attention as to what they want to do, announce, make happen, implement, whatever else, you know. But anyway, because I realize we're still only in March 11th, right? But April will be here before you know it. And from it's like April 12th to the 20th is this year is Passover and so forth. April 20th just happens to be, you know, on the calendar, you know, that we use here in the country, in this country, you know, Resurrection Sunday. I don't call it the other word. Other people call whatever you want. I don't do that. But anyway, at April 20th, which just happens to be Hitler's birthday. I'm just like, whatever, man. This is crazy. Okay? So, I don't know, man. This is just weird stuff, right? So, as we get through the rest of March and head into April, April historically has been a very violent and chaotic month. It has been full of events, okay? You could research it yourself. Just look up April through the years, you know, April in history, okay? I mean, you had the Titanic, you had the Lincoln assassination, you had all kinds of shootings, the Virginia Tech shooting. I know I'm going to miss some stuff here. I believe the end of the Branch Davidian complex in Waco, Texas, the David Koresh thing, I think that concluded in April. Oh, man. I know I'm missing a ton of stuff. The one that's most significant to my wife and I, Columbine massacre in April 1999, because we had only been married just over a year at that point in time. We actually went to the memorial service because we were living in that area at that particular time. I knew some people that their kids were at the school. Just a horrific thing for the community in Colorado at that time was the Columbine massacre shooting, right? April has always just been historically a very violent and chaotic and very eventful month. So if history were to repeat, and if there is a correlation here, can we possibly see, or I don't want to say no, but is there a possibility that this could be it as far as what we're seeing in politics and who's in charge or who's in the chair right now? Could it be April of 2025, of 4 months in to the, or approximately 4 months in, whatever, to the second term of a very controversial president, just like Lincoln, where he pushed, you know, to where finally they pushed back. The Freemasons pushed back, right? I don't know. See, and I'm not I'm not implying here that, the prez is a victim of all of this. I don't believe that for a second. Okay, if it's planned, if it's staged, if it's this, if it's that, and if it's time to leave the stage, because that's exactly what we're watching here, all I'm saying is it's going to cause massive chaos, and that could be the internal revolution, civil war that people are looking for, waiting for, whatever, wondering when it's going to happen or whatever. That could be it. That could start the whole process. If it hasn't started already, it probably has to a lesser extent with all the rhetoric out there and the things that people are talking about and saying they want to happen. But as far as it like being manifesting in a physical sense, yeah, that would most likely do it. And that could happen next month. So I'm just trying to give people as much as a heads up as possible. Like I said, just taking a shot in the dark here. I have a right to do it, just like you have a right to listen to it or not listen to it, mock it, make fun of it, take it to heart, take it to prayer, see if there's any legitimacy to this or not. I mean, whatever. People do whatever you want to do. We're all adults here, whatever. Do what you want, that's between you and the Lord. But all I'm saying is I think it's possible. And I think it's something people should really be preparing for, thinking about, not just the rest of this month, but as we head into April, because that's what got my attention. I'm like, whoa. So he gets inaugurated in January. He's dead in April. He's in his second term. Coincidence? I don't know. I mean, but I just know nothing new under the sun. What once was will be again. History repeats itself, all these adages. So it's just like, well, the first two are biblical, but the second one is an adage, but it's true. It's true. So I think to myself, wow, okay. And then I mentioned this before. It's also got my attention in the show Paradise. When they're honoring the president that's murdered in the show, he's a younger guy, kind of like a JFK type. And when they're honoring him, they have his basketball jersey, I guess, from high school or whatever, enshrined. And he just happens to be number 47. That's it. Not 23, not 00, which wasn't really a popular number then, probably. It just became a popular number over the last few years, I think. But not, any of the other great numbers, 33, 32. Nope. Number 47. Out of any number, they choose 47, the exact same number of the president we have now. I don't know, folks. I just find it interesting. Other people might say, nope, all conspiracy, you're off your rocker. Nope, not going to happen, won't happen. Because constantly living in that state of denial. Not going to happen, can't happen, won't happen, God won't allow it, and all the rest of these things people say and believe. We'll see. We'll see. But I would be prepared. Just like I'd be prepared to lose entitlements. I'd be prepared to lose whatever people are dependent upon. I would be prepared. I'm just saying. I think they could pull the rug at any time. Or maybe God himself, maybe the Father himself will just decide to pull the rug. At any time, I would be prepared. I would be dependent upon the Lord, our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and God the Father, and not any of these tangible things on the earth. And unless the Lord tells you to do a certain thing, or invest in a certain thing, or go a certain place, or do this or do that, I would be prepared and not be dependent upon all of these things, because they just may not be there. And then what? So make good choices, make good decisions, make wise choices and decisions, because I think we're in a danger zone big time. I think it might start today. Could be wrong. Probably am wrong. I don't know. But all I know is yesterday was a bloodbath in the markets. And, dude, speed up. Oh my gosh. Man, these people can't drive. Anyway, that's one of my pet peeves. Learn to drive. Anyway, but I mean, wow. We'll see what happens. But yesterday was not a good day for people in the financial market. So we'll see what happens today. But yeah, I would definitely be paying attention from today on, into April. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, I hope you have a good and blessed day. Take care. Be safe out there. I'll look at things as I get a chance to, whenever I get a chance to. I mean, people sending me stuff here, there, everywhere. I'll do what I can when I can. But sometimes, my friend Randy texted me yesterday. He had one of those days. He goes, man, I just want to laugh and listen to some music. I said, I get it, dude. So I sent him something funny, but I didn't send him any music. It's like, I get it, man. Sometimes that's how I feel too. Just let me pop in a CD and rock out or whatever and find something to laugh at. I get it. That's how I feel a lot of times too. I love comedy and I love music, so I'm right there with you, dude. So anyway, y'all have a good and blessed day. Man, I can't wait till the sun comes up. This is just ridiculous. 7:15 in the morning. It's still dark outside. I hate daylight savings crap. All right. Just leave the clocks alone. Let me drive to work in the light for a change. All right. Y'all have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.